What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Uh, DeSantis Disney and a race, or you want to go Disney DeSantis and a race. Um, I was perusing YouTube yesterday, and you know how you have these long commercials, and then they had this long commercial slash whatever about a young lady talking about DeSantis Disney, the LBGT agenda, and then she threw critical race theory in there. And I'm just looking and I'm listening because I happen to be doing something in the house because I want to put it on the television. And I was like, you know what? Because the issue is that, ironically, uh, Governor DeSantis does not want Disney to have an impact on teaching children about sexuality or same-sex sexuality, however you want to slice it, and implementing more characters whose character is based on who they have sex with into children's how can I say this? Just brains, thought process. And the other part about that is also that Disney kind of has their own little world in Florida. They have their own little world, their own little laws, da 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 da. So he wants to revoke that because you're not going to infiltrate our children's minds with your liberal ideologies. Let's do the political terminology, right? And I thought about it, and here's and I listened to the young lady speak about race, not race, or critical race theory brought into this. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what this is, just in my opinion, looking from afar, this what this winds up becoming. White people and people who want to approximate or appropriate whiteness, you guys have a ethical problem, an ethics issue, where when you put race into it, if you're white or you want to appropriate white to do something to somebody black or Native American, that's fair game. And you can open Pandora's box and there's nothing wrong with any of these actions. But on the other hand, once you open that box, there are other white people or people who might want to appropriate whiteness who say, well, if that's fair game, then all these other things have to be fair game too. And then you have another group of white people like, no. See, we opened Pandora's box when it came to race and all the unfairness we could do with race, but we're not going to do this white on white. We're not going to, no. This dysfunction and this debauchery, it stops when we change the race. And it's like, no, it doesn't, because if we're going to go down the path of lying, manipulating, stealing, and we just went down that path, and then we're going to go to church on Sunday and say God loves us and God forgives us. Well, if God can love me and forgive me for doing this to somebody black, God can love me and forgive me to doing this to somebody white. And just because, you stop at that threshold that, I'm not going to do it to somebody white, does not mean somebody white is going to stop at that threshold. Same thing when I was looking at the lady using critical race theory. It's like, it looks like a bunch of white people who are too scary to say, it's when white people are starting to do it to other white people, we need to pull in critical race theory as cover, because we can't address the manipulation or the immorality or the unethical behavior of other white people unless we attach it to another group, that so people could, somehow blindly go, oh, yeah, I can blame it on the blacks. It's their fault because they're attached to critical race theory. Because no, this is how you get down. There's a part of that video they were talking about privilege, and I was laughing because I'm like, so Walt Disney, which is a white-owned company, got a bunch of privilege and set-asides, not because they're a big conglomerate, for one, who brings a lot of business to the state and make a lot of money for the state for two, but it's a white company, so they got a lot of little set asides and privileges for themselves. And here's the thing: you did that, and now all of a sudden, well, the company's based in California. Well, it didn't matter that the company was based in California when you gave them their own little world. That's why it's Disney World. You know what I'm saying? It's Disney World. This is our own little world in Florida that we got, that you gave us because, hey, some white people doing white things that can generate money. So be it. So now, you got the CEO, I think it's the CEO, one of the CEOs, I guess, of Disney World was like, they were silent, but they're not going to donate to anybody's political campaigns who have an issue with LGBTQ or whatever. I think it's Q, whatever. So now they're on the side of the gay community, and now, the governor of Florida is like, I can't do this. We can't teach this to our kids. And why I brought up race also with the critical race theory, it's funny what you can't teach to what people don't want to talk to their kids because they brought up critical race theory. When you bring up critical race theory and stuff like this, it doesn't exist, but whatever, because it's, sexuality is not a race, but I'm going to take it there on this part. Y'all have no problem bringing up race when it's white people did this to you and you're beneath white people. That's a history thing that y'all don't mind teaching. But now all of a sudden when people want to throw other things in the mix, it's, oh, I don't want my kids learning this. You want my kid to learn that, white people are the greatest thing since sliced bread because they're white, because they killed a bunch of people that, and stole a bunch of people's stuff and used a bunch of people as free labor. Oh, that's just American history. But then there's other white people who like, yo, since we gonna play that angle, I'm gonna throw in that, a guy could bust it wide open for another guy. And you're like, I can't get that taught to my kids. Well, our kids have been subjected to your BS and lies for years. So now your kids are gonna be subjected to it by another white person who wants it that way. Congratulations. When you open up Pandora's box, it has no racial putback system. You're unethical. People, your counterparts are unethical, and you just feel like, your manners stop when it doesn't hit your home. Well, it's gonna hit your home. It is what it is. So like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.